Hiya hustlers, welcome back to our channel. So we are Wild Heart Hustle Homestead. I'm Candy, one half of Candy and Kelly. For those of you that are new here, welcome. For those of you that have been around for a while, I thought I'd do something a bit different today. So I've spoken a little bit about getting some yellow sticker stuff, so I thought it'd be an idea because I do need to sort the freezer out because it is literally piled up with stuff and we can't hardly get anything in there. And I know there is room, I just need to Tetris it a little bit more. I've got some more yellow stickers, what you can see there. I'm going to show you them in a bit. And I've also got some yellow stickers already in the freezer, so I thought I'd show you what I've got in the freezer. Obviously, we are a frugal homestead. I say homestead in the loosest of terms because we are obviously starting from scratch, and the actual garden area and vegetable garden, kitchen garden, all that is coming, but we're just building our life from the bottom up essentially. So we're starting in the house, and to become frugal, we've obviously not got an income, we've escaped the rat race, we're out of the system as much as we possibly can be. So I'm just going to show you a few of the bits that we've got. And then I know some people like seeing shopping hauls and stuff like that. This is not a shopping haul video, although I might do one of them at some point because I do enjoy watching them myself. I'm going to show you some of the bits we've got in the freezer and some of the bargains that are to be had where we are anyway. And can I just caveat, excuse the state of me, it's a bit of a housework day, got my washing out on the line, there's no rain, and also apologies for the state of our kitchen. As you can see, we are still functioning on one half of the kitchen with just a table because our kitchen units are not arriving until another couple of weeks, another few weeks, and then we've got to build and figure all that out. Anyway, so some of the things I've got. Now, I know people probably will say, you're on a budget, why are you going in M&S? Like, again, we're not following any narrative. This is our life, it's stuff that we like and stuff that we want. And we found a little Marx's probably about 10-15 minutes away from us, and it does have some good yellow stickers actually. So I'll show you the sort of stuff that we're buying at the moment. I've got some M&S crumpets and they were down to $1.25. Yes, I know that you can get crumpets cheaper elsewhere, and can I also state that eventually, once we're proper set up with a proper kitchen and everything like that, because we feel like we're still a little bit camping in here, I want to try new recipes and I want to start making my own bread, wraps, crumpets included, so we won't be needing to get there. The other thing in Marks is, I'm not sure if people have seen these, we absolutely love these. So they're the Chinese style pancakes, and if you can see them, it's a bit dark, sorry about the lighting in here. These were down to 75p instead of £1.25. Now I've got a couple of packs of these, and the recipe that I like, what I like doing with these, you can see they come out, they're so easy, they go in the microwave. I'm sure that I could learn to make all this stuff myself at some point, and that is coming, that is the life I'm trying to build. But like I've said previously, this is where we're at now, this is what suits us now, this is what we're doing now. We're working our way up to all these things, so we will get there. So with those pancakes, what I like doing, and actually this is one of my favourite recipes and one that I might share with everyone. So, sorry if you're getting a bit of shadow across there, it's because I've got the light here, I'll try and sort that out. So, we've got a pork joint, I've actually got one in the freezer, I'll show you that when I sort that out. It's just a pork shoulder joint, boneless, it goes in the slow cooker. I add some Chinese 5-spice, I add some soy sauce and some sweet chilli sauce. I don't do measurements here, so if you're going to be following me for recipes, not saying anyone would, I'm not the type of person to show, right, 50 grams of this, 30 grams of that. I'm just to chuck it all in, and the flavour speaks for itself essentially. So I'll say drizzle, little pour, drizzle. I might do it on camera at some point and you'll be able to see exactly what I do. But then that goes in the slow cooker, and I leave that all day, so 8-9 hours, and it becomes a little bit like pulled pork. You just pull it all apart, but it's got obviously a Chinesey and Asian flavour to it, and with a little bit of hoisin sauce along the top and some cucumber, that is perfect in those pancakes, and we love that. I mean, obviously everyone will probably more more known to and more familiar with duck pancakes, which obviously is lovely, but a cheap alternative is we try the pork. I find duck quite fatty as well. Sometimes you can get a fatty bit of pork. Some fat does add to the flavour, but what I don't like about the slow cooker when I do the pork is, you know, the big globules of fat at the end. So I try to either fish those out when it's been slow cooked, or in the past I have actually sliced that off and done that in the oven, so you've got a bit of pork crackling. It doesn't actually go with that dish, but you can use it on something else anyway. The other bits I've got, these are not marked with. So I've got 2 packs of these, 50% off. I can't remember the exact price, but giant buttermilk pancakes. They came up really cheap. Honestly, I need to really get a bit more professional, don't I, and start telling you pricing and stuff, but I can't remember that. But these are from Aldi. There's 4 pancakes and they're quite big in each pack. So you could either have that, and I think I've mentioned we've got guests coming over the coming weeks, like different guests. Not everyone's a fan, but you could have these as a dessert with some fruit and cream, or you can even have this as a meal with some bacon, eggs and some syrup. That's another one of my faves. Not for everyone. Now I must say, I like the American style where I like a bit of syrup on my pancakes with me eggs and bacon. Kel hates it. She just has salt, and I'm like, no, it's got to be maple syrup, but she just does not do that. Everyone's different, right? And these, I've not really noticed these in there before. They're small loaves. These are the toasty white loaves, 50% off, right? And I think these were about 29p when they went through, which is unreal. Obviously they take up a lot of room, obviously, right? And I know I'm going to get all the YouTube warriors on here now. Yes, this is not the best bread for you. No, it's not a good use of space in the freezer. Yes, I could be making my own bread. There's a lot of reasons why we're not doing things like that at the moment. So, well, one, Kel doesn't even eat this bread, okay? But we've got a lot of guests coming, as I keep saying, and this is perfect. It's going to be kids as well, you know. This is perfect for toast for breakfasts. This is perfect for sandwiches, all that type of stuff. So not necessarily for us, but just to, look, when we've got guests coming, I know that our family and friends, no one is expecting to come here and be fed all the time and we pay for it. That's not how it works in our circle, okay? But I've said no one goes hungry in my house, so I want to be able to lay on a spread, but on a budget. And I said we had Kel's mum and dad up last week, and I did a nice carbonara, garlic bread, you know, we did some picky bits the next night. You can do things on a budget. You don't have to splash out, and I've been there where I've splashed out on, you know, expensive steak and big joints of meat and stuff like that, but we're learning what we can create with what we've got, and that still includes being social. Being frugal and on a budget doesn't necessarily mean that you have to cut out all the fun things in your life. I want to make that clear, because we still have fun, we still do whatever we want to do, we still cook, we still entertain. We just do it a little bit differently now, and we think a little bit differently. I've said before, it's all about that mindset. So those are the bits I got yesterday. Got 3 of those because we've got quite a few guests coming over the next month or so, different visits and stuff like that. I think I'd like to show you some of the bits that I do cook when people are here, but obviously people that we have to stay, they're a good few hours away from us now, so this is like a little bit of a holiday, a little nice break. So we've said to people, you know, don't feel that you need to stay here and then we have to cook and you have to stay with us all the time. Like, we're quite happy if people want to use this as a base. I've mentioned before, we're near the coast, so it's lovely if people want to come up when the weather's nice and go and do their own thing and then come back and have a few drinks with us in the evening and stuff like that. So that's the type of stuff that we're advocating here. However, I do want to make sure that there's food. I come from a long line of feeders and I don't think that's going to change anytime soon. Right, let's get cracking into this freezer. As you can see, there's a lot of stuff in it. I want to tidy it up a little bit There's a lot of bread-based products in there that I feel taking up a lot of room, which again, going forward in the future, not necessarily right now, but you're gonna hear beeping. That's because I've got the door open. Let me turn that off for a sec. So it's gonna beep because the temperature's going down, I think. Yeah, basically because I keep opening it, you're gonna get a beep. So I can only apologise for the beep. So what we've got is all this stuff that I want to get out and move around and tidy. So I'll show you a few bits that we've got in. Actually, this was that bit of pork that I was talking about. So we only ever get it when it's on the club card. This was £6.24 for the British pork boneless shoulder joint, and this is what I do in my slow cooker, and it comes out like pulled pork but a kind of Chinesey version, and we have that with pancakes, and sometimes I do some homemade egg fried rice with it. Sometimes if the big bit of pork's quite big, you don't really need it, just have a few picky bits with it or something like that. I can see some more stickers here. So 75p there for some nacho wraps, so they can always be good for like fajitas, kind of lunch wraps, stuff like that. You can toast them, anything you want. We've got some different bits. So Mediterranean inspired vegetable and pesto lattices from Aldi. They're a cracker. Just balancing there, so that's another thing that I want to get away from, that everything doesn't fall when I open it. Got some more bread, some bits and bobs. These are another bargain, which I love. £1.25. Bao buns. Has anyone tried these? Again, these go great with the pulled pork, maybe some pickled cucumber, some hoisin sauce. This is another thing that when we had our old house, I really did get into making these myself, and also pretzels as well. I know they're two different things, but it's a similar process with steaming and boiling and that type of thing, but I want to get back into making all those myself as well. What else have we got in here? Just some mince. There's some random bits of meat in there. If anyone's got a Costco near them, I really recommend, let me see, you can see what I mean. See what I mean about everything being falling out everywhere. I think something's going to fall, a bit avalanche in there. These from Costco, absolute top notch. In fact, I've just put my order into my mum and dad before they come up because we haven't got a Costco near us. And it's not all convenience food, I will say. There is quite a lot. I mean, we've got some homemade bits. This is carbonara that I made, just got into the freezer. And that's what I made when Kel's mum and dad was here. There's some crispy potatoes. I think I mentioned to you, we got some potatoes from our neighbour on that side. And I made some crispy potato salad. There was quite a few left over, so they've gone into the freezer. Little random bits, like little pretzel rolls. Some mince, there's some chicken and stuff in there, but stuff that we've just got when it's been on offer and we've just grabbed it and it's gone shoved in. So now I need to get those yellow sticker bits in. It's about time that we sorted the freezer because we've not really had a look at it properly since we moved in. So bear with me. That beeping is really getting on my nerves, so I'm sure it's getting on your nerves. So I think while I get it all out, I'm going to have to be pretty quick. So we'll have a bit of a time lapse. This was another bargain from M&S, so was £9.50, £5 we got that for, and it is the slower reared, higher welfare whole chicken from M&S. So I know that you can get things cheaper, and we're obviously rural, so we want to get stuff from a lot of farmland, and who knows, one day maybe we'll have chickens, but for the moment this is how we're rolling. Right, hustlers, we're all empty, as you can see, apart from the 2 drawers, which I'm not going to take out because they're pretty much some ice cream and sun lollies. I don't know if anyone's had these, but this is another one that we get in Costco because they do them pretty cheap in there in bulk, and we live on these in the summer. And I don't know if anyone's got cats, but this is like the human equivalent of Dreamies. They are so nice. So I'm gonna have to, I've taken some ice out. You've seen all the bits on the floor. There's a hell of a lot of stuff, a hell of a lot of bread based products, which is something I do want to get away from. Now I know you watch videos, I do it, and you think, oh, I wouldn't do that, or I wouldn't do this. Again, I just want to say that this is our life. We're not following a narrative. This is what we like. Okay, mate, chill, literally. So I'm going to get all this stuff back in. There's quite a lot of yellow stickers that I've seen. There is a bit of a trend that it does seem that we kind of like Marx's for our yellow stickers. Now I know other shops do the yellow stickers as well, but we don't find that we see anything as good. Maybe that's just at our local branches, but with Marx's you find you get good quality, good price, and it is definitely worth it. This is another one, I'll show you this here. These are so nice. So the Posh Dogs from M&S, they're normally a £5 a pack. We have bought them at £5 a pack, but now what I'm doing with my new life is I just can't fathom the fact that I pay £5 per pack. They're going to go in the freezer anyway, when I can go there and sometimes have them on yellow sticker, £2.75. It really does blow my mind. So also just shows that the big companies have got such a markup on these products that myself included will fall for the marketing, will fall for the brand, but these are quality as well, so I'll definitely get these. So what I want to try and do is get some, like the meat together, the bread bits together, which I think might have to go on 2 shelves looking at it. But what does everyone else do with their freezer? I mean, do you just shove it in? I don't want to forget things that I've got, or do you put all your bits together and so they stay, you know where they are? So I've got, really my sections, I've got like a meat section, I include fish within that as well, some fish cakes there, vegetables, so we've got some spinach and potato gratin, we've got some edamame beans, some corn on the cobs, some peas, that type of thing. I tend to keep all that together. Then there's like your miscellaneous, so it's like your stuff that goes in the oven. I've got some loaded fries, some chili cheese bites, some of the food that I've prepared and that we've frozen. And then you've got the bread, which I can't believe how much bread we've got, and I've got to try and get all the other bits of bread in. So I'm going to crack on with this because I don't want things to defrost. It's quite a warm day, but I will come back and show you once it's all together. Wish me luck. It's got to all fit back in with the extras. What do you think? Does it actually look any different? I don't know. And I must admit I did use the shoving technique at some point. And so just remember, I've got 2 more bits of chicken to go in. And I did have those other bits that needed to go in as well. And I found some chicken in the fridge. I didn't find it, I knew it was in there, that I needed to wrap up and to freeze. So they've gone in. So I've tried to keep, most of the meat is back there with the fish. Yes, some shoving technique went on the front. Got all the bread, kept my ice and my ice lollies, and this freezer is quite good actually because there's some deep shelving on the side which I've shoved everything in. So, bit of a different video there, just thought I'd show you what's going on in our freezer. And as I mentioned, we are building a homestead from scratch, so I am absolutely buzzing to say that hopefully, fingers crossed, this time next year I'll be showing you our freezer, and hopefully we'll have another freezer. And it's all stuff that we've grown ourselves, grown from the garden, vegetables, fruit, kind of a homemade ragu and tomato sauces and stuff like that, which we have done before, which I really want to get into this freezer. But for now, this is real life, as I've always said, we're sharing everything. This is how we're living at the moment. Still haven't got my kitchen fully how I want it, so we're sort of making do. we've 100% moved up from living in the van, so we can do a lot more stuff. And I think I'd like to show you more of this sort of thing, the real life stuff, the stuff that's going on in the kitchen, stuff that's going on in the household, and I might even show you a little glimpse soon of our prepper pantry as well, but that's another discussion. Thank you for joining me today. I know it's a little bit different. I did say that this channel was going to evolve all the time, and it is. It's going to continuously evolve because our life is evolving, our life is changing. You know, we're changing what we're doing and our ideas and bits and bobs, so I want to keep everything real and keep you along for the journey and what we're doing. So that was our yellow sticker haul and our freezer sort out. This is a working homestead. We're escaped the rat race, we're living life on our terms, doing things differently, and this is how we're doing it. So if you like what you see, please do subscribe, hit the notification bell, and hit me up in the comments on what you think. Let me know if you go for any of the yellow sticker stuff or the kind of more organic farm stuff, and where you're finding your bargains, because I would love any tips and I'd love to see what you're doing. But thanks for joining me this week, hustlers, and I will see you on the next one.